You are now going to hear about my favorite jazz festival. It was actually on my bucket list when I retired about 10 years ago. It was one of the first things on my bucket list. And then in 2016, I got to serve as a music director for a young group, Jazz Juvenocracy, as they did their European tour. And the last site that I participated in as music director was held in the Netherlands. It was called the North Sea Jazz Festival. And I tell you, after being in Europe, touring jazz festivals all over the European continent, North Sea was by far the best, by far. Why is that, Frank? Well, there's this magazine publisher, Tycoon, made a lot of money, a fortune, publishing a little magazine that dealt with pop music, pop culture in Europe in the 60s. And his dream was to start a jazz festival. And in 1976, he started the very first North Sea Jazz Festival at The Hague. And it continued there for many, many years. Legendary stuff. The jam sessions after the concerts were legendary. The parties were legendary. The level of musicianship was legendary. The, how should I say this? The vibe, the feeling that was there among the audience and the artists was just unbelievable. And then they decided to tear down the structure that was being held. So it was moved across the bridge to Rotterdam, where they had a big, big entertainment structure called the Ahoy. And when it was rebuilt, primarily to expand itself, it was built in the kind of the layout of a ship, where you had all these rooms around and you had all these common areas and just amazing structure and a major creature comforts. But the big thing is you get music 12 hours a day on 15 different stages continually for the duration of the festival. And I'm talking, you name them, Miles Davis, Terence Blanchard, Branford Marsalis, pop artists, James Taylor, Amy Winehouse, people like that, soul artists coming through there. Prince was actually doing a walkthrough when I was there. It's primarily jazz. It was designed, this festival was designed to feature American jazz and European avant-garde jazz, the most experimental, cutting-edge jazz as being produced on the European continent. Quite a good combination. But even from the very beginning, they brought in one or two pop artists just to give a little diversity to the entertainment there. This particular festival, as I said, has 15 different concert venues that run 12 hours a day continually. The capacity on average at the North Sea Jazz Festival is around 25,000 people a day. 25,000 a day. It's just a huge festival, very, very well run, with the very best artists from everywhere. And it's become kind of an event like the Grammys or whatever. The Edison Award, which is the Danish equivalent of the Grammys, is presented during the North Sea Jazz Festival, as are many other artistic awards. So it is pretty much the centerpiece of jazz and popular music entertainment in the Netherlands. And of course, people come from all over the world. It is not just my favorite jazz festival, it is everybody's jazz festival. And as has been determined, it is unquestionably the largest jazz festival in the world. All started because a publisher had this idea of creating a festival to highlight jazz just in the Netherlands. And then within a few years, this became the #1 festival on the world stage as it relates to jazz and popular music. I cannot tell you how excited I was to be there and to see Bramford and to see Terrence and to see Roy and to see Carlos Santana and Larry Graham and Prince, and you see them all and you have to make choices. So when I was there, I chose to see as much jazz as possible because it's easier to see pop music in America than it is to see jazz. So when I had a chance to go see an R&B artist, and an artist like Terrence Blanchard was going to be performing, I would go to the smaller venue and see Terrence Blanchard because I knew I probably wouldn't see him back here in Florida. So that was kind of how I did things. It's a great festival. As I said, 15 concert venues at the Ahoy. Average attendance during this festival is 25,000 a day. And it is the place that if you have a bucket list and if you love jazz, put this place on it. It's better than Montreux, it's better than Umbria, it's better than you name it. The #1 festival is the North Sea Jazz Festival. And you know what? The people are great too. You will never have been treated so well, and you'll be in the home of Amstel, baby, not Amstel Light, Amstel. Oh yeah, I love that Amstel. Thank you, North Sea Jazz Festival.